Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions. It is Ian and Thomas with you, as always. Today, we take a look at the FA Cup quarter-finals. We have 7 of the UK's best clubs, and Man United, vying for a place in the last 4 of this famous old competition. We're not going to waste any more time. We're going to jump into the first fixture. It is AFC Bournemouth versus Southampton.
Why is Johnny Woodgate the manager of AFC Bournemouth?
You've stumped me already. I had a whole spiel for this game, 10 minutes long, and you've just... it's out of my mind now. You've given me a question I don't know the answer to.
It just doesn't seem... I don't want to be mean, Johnny, but you don't seem good enough at managing teams. We saw you kind of crash and burn at Middlesbrough. You've taken over Bournemouth. They've slipped out of the playoff zones. They're 5 points behind Barnsley. Ian. Barnsley are ahead of Bournemouth.
Don't disrespect Barnsley. They've been amazing this season.
I shan't. They've been amazing. But Bournemouth haven't. And to have gotten this far in the FA Cup is got to be described as lucky at this point. I mean, they're not even good enough to get promoted to the Premier League. Southampton are going to trounce them, aren't they?
You say that. I mean, it's a free hit, isn't it, for Bournemouth? They're not doing well in the league. It looks almost like with the appointment of Woodgate that they've almost like given up on the season. This is a guy that would have got Middlesbrough relegated last season.
Yeah.
And now he's been given a arguably better job. Saints are in terrible form as well, though. You can't overrule that. They are in shocking form. I think they've only had 1 win out of the last maybe 10 games. It may be even more than that. So it's not a foregone conclusion, this one, but you will. I think we're both going to be leaning towards Southampton in the scoreline here, aren't we?
Yeah, 100%. I know their result at the weekend, notwithstanding, they're just too good to lose this side, and they've got to be looking at this going, we can get into the semi-finals, the FA Cup. Now, is it the semi-finals or is it the 7th round? Because as an American, I'm getting very confused by terminology.
Well, I thought you'd be confused by the terminology of semi or semi, first of all, but It is the quarterfinals this round, and so it is the semi-finals next round, Thomas.
Okay.
I think that House and Hootel's side, they've got their players, the core key players back. It seems like Vestergaard, people like Ings, people like Adams and
Romeo,
Ward-Prowse. Yeah. So
yeah. Their
main kind of players that did so well at the first half of the season are back, and so you would expect Southampton to win. I'm going to go for I think it's going to be tight. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Saints win.
I was going to go 2-1 as well, but because you've gone that way and I cannot show weakness and agree with you on anything, it will be 1-0 the Saints. Everton versus Manchester City.
I think this one should be a really good game. I just hope it's an Everton side that turns up and plays like we know they can, and not like how we saw them play against like Burnley the other week, where they're just sloppy and the game's almost over before they even start playing, which is a common theme, and which is one of those ones that just you feel that like they're just not going to be good enough to cement a top 4 place because the form's just so inconsistent. They have too many of those bad games in their locker.
It feels like 1 out of every 4 matches is a shock.
But the last round, they had the unquestioned result of the round, beating Spurs 5-4 in a truly fantastic game.
Ooh.
And if it's anything like that, then you're in for an absolute treat on a Saturday evening. And but it is going to be difficult against Man City, who are looking for a quadruple again.
Now remind me, Man City are all conquering except for 1 result. And which result was that, Ian?
Yeah. They lost to their noisy neighbours, Thomas.
They did, but they have been absolutely unbeatable. I think we both have predicted they'll win in the Champions League, which is happening. I think they're playing tomorrow, but if not, it's Wednesday. This won't come out anyway. It just don't matter. So City are into the next round of the of the Champions League. They're going to win this match. I think I get to go first. I think it's going to be a really tight game. I really wish Everton were going to win it, but I think City will edge it 2-1.
Yeah, you feel like it's going to be. It should be a good game, but maybe without the goals. I'm going to go. I think it'll be 3-1 Manchester City. But
I do think Carlo wants to win this trophy, and I think he thinks they can. I
understand that, but he got to like quarterfinals of the League Cup, against Manchester United, where we thought, oh, wow, he wants to win this trophy. And they turned up and played absolute shite. So whether he wants to win it or not is dependent on whether his team can put in a performance or not.
But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the greatest manager of all time.
And certainly when they're away from home, he is the best manager of all time in that regard.
Indeed.
Chelsea versus managerless Sheffield United.
Oh, Sheffield United. You finally parted ways with Chris Wilder. And what did it result in? Your worst result in the Premier League. An absolute mauling at the hands of Leicester City. And now you come into a cut match. The team is reeling. There's no manager in charge. And I don't think anybody can look past the Chelsea win here, can they?
Absolutely not. Yeah, you really can't see it, especially with Thomas Tuchel. They're going to be very well prepared. They're not going to take any chances. They're just going to grind this one out. It won't be a high-scoring game. But going back to the Sheffield United thing, I just feel so sorry for the fans. The fans have had a shit year. They've had to deal with crap results, and now the hometown hero guy. If anything, Chris Wilder deserved this game to go out on. If anything else, to go out in an FA Cup quarter-final. So it's a real shame, and they've had nothing to cheer for all season, and now it seems like the players have just down tools and given up as well. And I think it's going to be a cut and dry, easy 2-0 win for Chelsea, and Sheffield United will try for about 60 minutes, and then it'll be a boring last 30 minutes.
What scoreline did you go with?
2-0 Chelsea.
Well, I, again, cannot show weakness, so 3-0 to the Blues.
Wow, that'll be I don't think Thomas Tuchel's sides are allowed to score 3, are they?
Absolutely not. It will be a breaking of records.
It's been a short and sweet video. We've only had 3 games, but we've already arrived at the final destination. It is time for the main event.
Leicester City hosting the greatest side away from home in recorded history, Manchester United.
This should be a really good game. It really should be. But the only thing that makes me think it's not going to be a good game is Man United have been bloody good in defence over the last month or so. They barely conceded a goal. I know they've had a lot of 0-0 draws, but defensively they look really strong. Leicester will certainly test them, but I can't look past Man United in this one. I know you're going to pick Man U, and also you don't want to hear from me. You want to hear from the resident expert Manchester United fan, Thomas Pickering.
I'm really glad you talked about the defense, because we all know all I was going to do was talk about Bruno Fernandes for 35 minutes, and then you'd have to cut most of it out.
You're quite within your right to do so, but I just remember that the game they had against West Ham was a dog of a game, and as soon as Man United got the goal, you really just felt that they were going to be comfortable and see it out.
Well, and I feel I probably should mention that Dean Henderson seems to really be growing into this role. I think De Gea is injured. I'm pretty sure he's not just been dropped, has he? He's got an injury.
Has he had a new baby or something? Could he have been back in Spain because of that?
It might have been that. I wasn't sure, but he's been in from 3 or 4 straight games, and they've looked really good. He's pulled off a couple of really good saves, and the defense look well marshaled. But on top of that, we talked about this before, Luke Shaw is having a renaissance. Somehow Harry Maguire is still in there. Lindelof looks incredibly composed at centre back right now. He's not making any mistakes. Wan-Bissaka, his best strength is defending. It's rare that you question Wan-Bissaka's defending. It's his complete inability to get a ball into the box that's the problem. Midfield, I don't understand why Scott McTominay is so hated by football fans. He is Darren Fletcher 2.0, Roy Keane 2.0. He's just this hard-nosed central defensive midfielder that pops up with goals every now and then because he never stops running, and he's absolutely awesome. The weaknesses in this side are players like Matic, players like Fred. Dan James has had a bit of a renaissance the last couple matches as well. He's really come back into his own, but he is still so incredibly slight of frame. You feel like the Leicester City defense are just going to shepherd him to the corner flag, and then, he fell over. Good, cool. Bulls ours now. United are a shoo-in for Champions League football at this point. They're on autopilot. They have a huge game against AC Milan coming up right before this on Thursday. So I think we can probably we'll see United side with quite a few changes in it possibly, but hopefully Cavani's back. All credit to Leicester, fantastic here, but United are going to win this 3-0.
Yes, they've just found that things have been a bit of a struggle for Leicester the last few weeks, but they found a bit of form against a we talked about a Sheffield United side that seemed like they surrendered. Iheanacho's found his goal scoring touch, scored a good hat-trick in that game and a good goal against Brighton the week before. And it's looking a little bit more like the dynamic Leicester side that we saw earlier on in the season, and they haven't got that I think they've gotten over that fear now of that bad run where they're like, oh shit, the whole season might fall apart. I think they've gotten over that, and they can really look forward to this quarterfinal and give it a really good go against Manchester City. And that's what you always want to see from a Leicester side. You just want to see a side that's just going to give it a go, like led by Jamie Vardy, led by people like Tielemans. I'm not sure on the fitness of like Barnes and Maddison whether they'll be playing, which will be a really big loss if they're not. But you want to see a real sort of swashbuckling game, and I hope it is going to be the case. It's not one where Man U get a goal early and then sit back and defend. Because I want to see a really high-scoring game, I'm going to go for goals. I'm going to go for Leicester City 2, Manchester United 3.
Well, as long as you don't show weakness on this channel, Ian, we love you. And now, I have to thank all of you for watching this video. Please smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you already haven't. If you were enjoying these videos that we produce, please head over to our Patreon and show us a little bit of support. The League One setting is only $4.99. Every little bit helps us out immensely. Thank you all so much for watching. We will catch you later in the week. And remember, every Saturday at 2:45, we live stream. So get on board.